So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be. Oh, sorry. I was playing golf in my simulator in the theater room. It's obsessive. I've been in that room for the past 2 hours. Because golf is like that. 1 minute you're making the perfect shot, almost par birdie, and the next minute you're slicing it off into the trees. And then you want to go one more. Okay, I got to get 3 good strokes. Okay. It's funny, I mentioned golf because today we're doing Venus and Ketu in the fifth house. And what is Ketu? Ketu is something which is long, right? And what do you have in golf? A long stick, right? And what is Venus? Venus is fun, comfort, happiness, games. Fifth house is fun and games and sports. And here I am, just wanted to be like, I gotta get some rest, so let me make a video. So yeah, Venus, Ketu in the fifth house. And this is a very interesting position, okay? And it'll have a different dynamic when Ketu is behind Venus versus in front of Venus, okay? Usually behind Venus, okay, the person is naturally bringing inclination of detachment. Like when it comes to relationships, love, romance, it's like they already know something from past life that, you know what? Relationships don't last. You know what? Romance will not last. Let me not pay so much attention to it, or let me not go so deep into it. Because I feel like there could be some pain behind it. So when Ketu's in behind Venus in degrees, what is it doing? It is actually showing something from the past, the experience of Venus that it had, and is bringing here in this life. So what it does in past life, a person could either be bringing experience of heartbreaks, constant heartbreaks in this life, or a person is also bringing inclination towards celibacy in this life. Maybe you're a celebrate. You just made a penance for yourself in a normal world that I'm just going to be celibate. I'm going to restore my energy. So these are the reasons why you may get some conjunction. And there's many more other reasons why as well. Like if Venus and Ketu are in the fifth house, there would be some karma connected with abuse of a woman from maternal lineage. Okay. So there's all these things. I mean, I can talk about this for the next 30 minutes and, take you deep into it, but I don't want to go into that particular part. Those are the kind of parts I go on to in my courses or in my academy or in my readings. Okay. Because I just actually uploaded the Gemini course as well for all ascendants on Magavedic Astrology Academy, and along with like age activation of Gemini sign, and literally a five-part video, longest one so far. Okay, and I think the other longest one that I'm also seeing is Aquarius. But yeah, that's there. So if you want to go check it out, you can go to karasastrology.com under shop section or academy section, and you'll find the link to Magavedic Astrology Academy there. So where was I starting this with? With the Venus and Ketu, how behind it can show that in the past there was a lot of abuse related to females. And so here a person naturally brings in some fear connected with women. Like, no, I don't want to approach women. Whether it's a male or female, they'll be reluctant to approaching many women. But what happens is, because Ketu is behind Venus, which is representing the past, there is some certain relationship from past that will actually come to you, depending upon how the Venus sign is. They can actually be support system for you, help you evolve. Okay. That's what this particular Venus do. Now, when Ketu goes into the front of Venus, well, now a person has no recollection of the past. They're not really aware of what they are to deal with in this life, unless you have some other planet behind Venus. Then the story will change. Okay. But now what happens is a person is unaware that I'm walking on my path in the fifth house of intelligence, of education as well, of children, progeny, creativity, romance. Anybody that I love comes into the fifth house. Okay. So here they may come with open arms. Like, for example, let's say Venus is in the fifth house in Scorpio. Venus is in the fifth house in Cancer, like watery signs. A person will be emotionally looking to make a connection with someone in this life. For them, like singing in the rain type movie scenes is what they crave for when they're young. But then what happens is, because of that inexperience of the past, depending upon what planet was behind Venus, they are going to deal with major breaks. Like it's like their romantic car is going 60 miles an hour and boom, suddenly hits a wall. You don't get killed, but you will get hurt. You'll break some bones. And this is why whenever I see Venus and Ketu, but especially Ketu in front of Venus, what I see here, listen, you're 20 years old, 25 years old, 28 years old even. Okay? Go have your romantic time. Go find someone and have a date. Have your intimacy. But just be aware constantly in the back of your mind that tomorrow I'm going to get a text from this person that, let's see other people. Okay? I think it's time we should see other people. Once you get that text, okay, great. I think you're right. I was thinking the same thing. And guys don't get that in their 20s. They're like, oh my God, please don't leave me. Oh my God, you and I are meant to be together. I've done this kind of crap. Many other people in their 20s have done this kind of crap. But when you get that message and just say, I think you're right. I was thinking the same thing. Do you know, especially the other person, the girl will be like, wait a second. Why is it that this person is easily willing to let go of me? Am I not so special? Am I not, good enough? And then they may want to just stay friends. But see, these are the kind of games you have to play in the 20s. In 30s, 40s definitely doesn't matter. But the thing is, this is how you need to approach life. Even if you're female, because Venus is going to represent romance. You meet that perfect guy. Tall, handsome, all the accolades of Ivy League education and everything. And they're like, oh my God, you're the only one for me. And you're like, that's it. I found my absolute best husband. I can't wait to show him off. And you date for 2 months and then boom, the first week of the third month, you get that text and you're just broken. You can't eat. You can't do anything. And this happens twice minimum. And this is why I tell people, like usually I do see people who didn't even have a relationship or romance, especially Venus comes in fire signs with Ketu. But on the other hand, I tell people, go and date, have a relationship purposely. Okay. And if it breaks up, perfect. You're actually aligning with Venus and Ketu. So if you date somebody, you respect them, you actually want to be with them, but then they break up with you. Okay, great. One down. Second relationship comes in. All right, great. I'm going to give this person everything that they need from me. Oh, they want to break up with me? Perfect. Okay, now I will find the right person in my life. But on the other hand, let me tell you, Venus and Ketu equals at one point, especially in your 30s, when the third round of Jupiter is coming closer to Venus, is where you will see all the world conveniences comes into this person's life. Now, amount will depend upon how the ninth lord is placed, or Bhagya. We have to look at the Bhagya. I mean, is your, Bhagya this much, or is your Bhagya this much, right? But you get that. You get the conveniences, you get the luxury, you get the vehicles, you get the wife, you get everything. Why? Because Ketu represents heights. Ketu represents a flag. So it is going to raise the flag of Venus at one point, but it's going to make Venus go through that penance, that tapas, as they call it. Venus has to walk on a rock of fires before it can find its way to that highest peak. And especially when what I tell people, especially in man's chart, when you have Venus and Ketu, especially in the fifth house, find somebody who's like a film editor, find somebody who's a chef, find somebody who's a fashion designer, find somebody who's a specialist related to children, like a pediatrician. And especially if they are like also giving like vaccines or using syringes in their work, great. You found the person. Even if it's your first relationship in that case, then that will also work out. You have to align yourself with Venus Ketu. Venus Ketu in the 5th house in Virgo, you find yourself an accountant. There you go. You're good. Now you get everything. So that's how this particular, Venus will operate. And then, now imagine this. Venus in the 5th house. Venus is in the 5th house with Ketu in the front, right? But then after Ketu is Saturn. What happens is when a person goes through enough breakups and they're like, that's it. I cannot get my heart broken. I cannot. And then what happens is this particular Muni yoga / Langoti yoga becomes active. Where a person is like, that's it. I'm going to go towards a spiritual path. I'm going to get my great education. I'm going to have my good money. But my relationship is now going to be with God. And this is going to be extremely true if Venus is your Atmakarka. And is it a bad thing? Absolutely not. What if you have already done all this in the past life? Why are you wanting to repeat the same cycle in each life to, okay, I have to have romance, I have to have love, I have to have children, then I have to grind myself for the next 40 years for the family, then I have to retire and die. No, now it's time to experience something else. It's trying to tell you that it's time to go up higher. Many people don't want to. They get stuck in this whirlpool of Maya connected with romance in the 5th house. And especially you will see, this is a vulnerable position for men. Why? Because once a woman comes in your life, you cannot make decisions on your own. You will let the woman make the decision for you. They will control your intelligence with this Venus. Whatever they say, oh, that's right. Whatever they want, yes, that's what we're going to get. So here what happens is, yeah, your wife could be making, or that woman could be making excellent decisions. But on the other hand, then you also kind of lose your own authority in your own life, your own identity. Why? Because who are you? What are your choices? Oh, I don't have a choice. Whatever the missus wants, that's it. That's what I live. I'm sure you have heard of those people. I've met those people in my own family. We all have, right? So this is the type of person that you will get with this particular Venus. For example, if Venus is with Ketu and then Moon is there in the front, right? So Venus is meeting Ketu and then Venus is meeting Moon. After enough heartbreaks, this person's emotions dry up. You cannot make this person fall in love with you and make you do things on a Valentine's Day, make you do things on some romantic day. They will do it, but they might be acting. They'll be like, okay, fine, I have to do this just so this person shuts up. Okay, fine. But they may not have anything. And this is why it's important to understand astrology, because once you know that, okay, my spouse has this and they experience this thing, okay, let me not make these unnecessary demands on them. They're dried. Okay, but why make things worse by me saying something, that do something, and then they're doing it half-assed, they're doing it without their heart being involved. Might as well don't. So this is how you need to use astrology in your life. Okay. So anyway, I've talked a little too much. Okay, I got to go back to my golf. So anyway, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.